is what I wish someone told me before I got the coil. So I remember I was at a point in life when nilikuwa nimechoka. A girl was tired of what you may ask. Tired of constant anxiety before my next period. Tired of always keeping track of my period. And I had done that for a very, very long time. Actually, since my early 20s. Na ikafika point, I just wanted to have carefree schmegs. I wanted a situation where after I'm done with the deed, hakuna any anxiety, hakuna any worry about the repercussions, or there's a possibility I could be pregnant, or, I just wanted to rest. Yeah, and I remember back then in my early 20s, I was so against family planning because mi nilikuwa nafikiria family planning ni ya wale watu wako married, watu wenyewe wanapanga uzazi because they in a marriage. Sasa mimi sijaolewa, napanga uzazi gani? So that was the thinking back then, of which it's barbaric. Yeah, as long as you're actively having sex, I advocate for look for a long-term family planning method that works for you, whether you're single or not. Yeah, so me kafika pahali I was so tired, cause nilikuwa download apps, nilikuwa kila sana jimonitor, naangalia when are my safe days, when am I ovulating, and in the event I engaged your time na ovulate, ulikuwa napata pia I'm being extra cautious because I didn't want a baby and my partner didn't want it. So both of us decided to have this conversation. Na nikamwambia me what I feel, we need to get something long-term, something sustainable. So I did my research, and that's how I stumbled upon Copper-T, the IUD. And what I loved about IUD was that it was non-hormonal, return to fertility was fast, and what else? It didn't affect your sex life, and yeah, I think those are just the few things I looked into. And I was like, kwanza, the fact that it's not affecting my hormones, I was already sold. So I did research, na hata when talking to people, nilikuwa nasikia watu wakisema wamekuwa na hizi Copper-Ts for the longest time na hazijawahi wasumbua, hata the single ladies, watu hata wako na watoi, unasikia mtu amekaa nayo for 5 years, hakuna issue. So why not? Mimi nika decide, this is what I'm going for. And that is how I made a call to my gynecologist and booked an appointment. Later I was at the gynecologist's office, and I was a bit anxious, of course, because I didn't know what to expect, in as much as I had been waiting for the procedure for about a week now. But kufika huko, the gynecologist was so warm, she was so pleasant. Akanitake through all the family planning methods there is. Akanitake through the advantages, the disadvantages, and I must admit, at the time, I was like, can you just finish up? I don't need all this information. Mi nisha decide nataka IUD, specifically the copper one, so I don't see why you have to take me through the whole lecture ya family planning. But now looking back, I'm really appreciative of the fact that she took her time na to make sure that I was making an informed decision. And you see, for me, I believe I was at a point of privilege, or rather I'm still at a point of privilege. Kuna some women, they do not this kind of privilege where they can come across this information easily. So for the health workers to actually take their time and take women through all these family planning methods, the advantages, the disadvantages, is actually a plus. And it's a good thing. It means that the health workers are actually out here to support us and to help us throughout this journey. Yeah, so that is something I really appreciated when it came to my gyna. So nikiwa nimekaa hapo, I noticed hadi the gyna was being very chatty, and I felt like she was being chatty so that she can put me at ease, make me comfortable, because your process yote is sort of uncomfortable, having somebody work on your coochie for like a whole 30 minutes or even going on to an hour. It's not an easy thing, it's quite uncomfortable. So I really appreciated that she didn't leave room for me to overthink about the whole situation. She was like, these are very normal things and there's nothing I need to be scared about. So yeah, na akani take through after the insertion process, akani explain how she's going to do it. Like, I really appreciated your consultation before the procedure, because nakumbuka hadi alinionyesha the kits zenye atatumia, hizo my equipment, akanionyesha ma speculum na what not. Like, enye ukiangalia ni mtu, she took her time to really take me through the process. You could tell she loves her work. Yeah. So nakumbuka tukiwa tumekaa hapo, hata I think tukianza hata consultation niambia wacha nikupatie hii muscle relaxer, so that by the time we get to the procedure, at least ikuwe imeingia kwa system na hautasikia uchungu. How short? Kwani kuna uchungu? Akaniambia yeah, for some kuna wakati juu uterus kuna at some point itaanza kucontract, and bado kuna venye tunafaa kuipima. Hiyo procedure ni a bit uncomfortable, but ya tile uchungu crazy, but I want you to be as comfortable as possible. Na hapo ndio nikapewa muscle relaxer, tukafanya the consultation, and now it came to the time ya kulala kwa kitanda naked. So mimi huyo nikapanda kwa bed, nikaambiwa how I need to, because I was a bit tense. I feel I am not relaxed. Akaniambia for this process to be at least as painless as possible, nafaa kuwa nime-relax, because once I'm relaxed itanisaidia hadi the muscles huko chini zikuwe relaxed. So she needs me relaxed as possible ndio aweze kufanya the procedure as fast as possible na with minimal pain. So akaniambia I need to breathe in and out, and I did exactly that na nika relax. So nikaona amechukua ka equipment kanaitwa speculum. A speculum is a plastic equipment kenye kanatumiwa ku stabilize the cervix na pia ku visualize. Because of course the copper itaingizwa through the cervix. So nikaona amechukua gel, akapaka gel vizuri, and then akaingiza. So tuseme ndo hii, this is the speculum. Nakanaka hivi tu venye unaona kama mkono, and assuming this is my vagina. So akaingiza, venye aliingiza nikasikia ameitani na way that imefungua, imewiden the vaginal opening na akaistabilize. Na akaniambia sasa anaweza visualize the cervix vizuri, and so we are good to go. Akaniambia the next step itakuwa nini? Kusound the uterus. That is to measure the uterus. Akachukua some metallic rod, ilikuwa like I think this long. Sasa hapo ndio kizungumkuti ilianza. So I could feel her akiingiza hiyo metallic rod. So hiyo ndio ilikuwa measure the size of my uterus, ndio tujue tutatumia size gani ya IUD. So akiingiza nilikuwa nasikia baridi. You know how metals can be cold? So it was a bit cold, and then by the time imepita sasa cervix, nikaanza kusikia ni kama mtu alikuwa anakanyaga the insides of my nose na heels. Like it was that uncomfortable, you know. So nikasikia, alafu nasikia sasa imefika mwisho penye sasa anadunga hiyo uterus. Because you see now the IUD itakuwa hapo juu kwa uterus. Hiyo part tunaonanga inakaa hivi, the topmost part. So I could feel hiyo sound ikiguza uterus, and it was not a comfortable feeling at all. And within a few minutes we were done. Akaniambia actually you have this is the size of your uterus. It's not common. Alisema my uterus was a bit small, so hata hatungetumia ile IUD alikuwa ametoa ya normal sized uteruses. Ikabidi ameita assistant akaleta a smaller IUD. Sasa naanza kufeel ni kama naanza kucramp, atako like it's normal as long as it's not too much pain, then it's okay. Kidogo si ndio hiyo the IUD imeletwa. Nikawekwa na ni the same procedure, bado anaingiza hiyo kitu. Sasa si IUD inakuanga connected to something very long, so you can feel ni kama venye tu bado anaingia through the cervix mpaka kwa uterus. Na tukamaliza. Well, let me tell you, it took like, I think, less than 10 minutes, but let me tell you, it felt like, I don't know, 5 hours. Haya, so mimi nikamaliziwa, akainsert na akaniambia we are good to go. Venye alimaliza, of course, akanitoa culum, akaidispose, akanipanguza, na akaniambia sasa we are good to go. So the next time I'm going to see you ni in 6 weeks, just to check the positioning of the IUD. And of course kuna some, at the time I felt like nilikuwa nimekaa kwa hiyo bed for like, I think 5 hours. Yeah, nili feel like it was that long, but honestly hata 10 minutes hazikuisha. So of course akani take through another stage ile ya, no, we need to do what? We need you to come back for maybe checkup after this long vitu. Even before we were done with that session, mimi nikaanza kuumwa. I was in so much pain, like hata mwenyewe alishtuka. It was like I was in labor. Like the cramps were so crazy. Like on a scale ilikuwa ni kama, I think a 10 out of 10. Like it was crazy. Nikaanza kuumwa, and at the time nikaanza hadi ku bend forward. I couldn't walk. I'm screaming. I go like, this has never happened before. And I was like, yo, when niambie WhatsApp, maybe sifai kutumia kitu. Akaniambia hapana, it could be because you have a virgin uterus, like you've never been pregnant before, so it could be your uterus ina react to a foreign body. So it's normal, you just give it time, na nitakudunga sindano ya uchungu. Hata I won't let you go home right now, so I'll just dunga you, ulale hapa for like 30-45 minutes, and then I can review you after. So there we go. Akanidunga sindano and after maybe 30 minutes uchungu iko imeisha kabisa, but at least I could walk back home. Jua iko mbali sana na where I used to live, so I could walk back home. So nikadungwa sindano, and in like 30 minutes I was good. Yeah, nikaanza kufeel I think now I can walk, I can easily go home. Na kani release vizuri na kanipatia more painkillers. But now she was like, since hajaiona reaction ka hiyo, but it's a possibility, like unaweza kwa hiyo coil na upate umecramp sana kuliko other women, because you see these effects are subjective, they're not just cast on stone. So akaniambia in case of anything I'll just call her back. So mimi nikaenda home. Kufika home in like, I don't know, less than 2 hours, nikaanza kucramp tena. It was crazy. I was in so much pain. I started crying. I called her back and nikamwambia, maybe I need to remove this thing. Akaniambia hapana, you just give it time na nitakupatia better painkillers zenye zita manage the pain. So let's observe for like 3 days. If the pain is still present, it's still persistent, then utaka tutoe. Well and good. So after a few what, I think nililala hiyo day, and then the next day was fine. There was no pain, there was nothing. Nilikuwa fine kabisa, na nikona kumbe I can stay with this thing. So nikakaa day 1, day 2, day 3, and I hacked it. Nikona there is no pain. But here is the twist. Mimi kutoka nianze my menses, sijai kuwa na ovulation pain na sijai kuwa na painful menses. But this time it was crazy. Ovulation nilikuwa na feel ni kama somebody is tearing my intestines apart. It was so painful. Yeah, nikapigia tena again, akaniambia hapana, that is normal. As long as you have IUD, that is how your body is reacting to that foreign body. Haya, kasema ni sawa. Come to menses. Ikakuwa nilikuwa naenda for like 3-4 days maximum. Nata by the time we're getting to the 4th day, ni kidogo, ni just a bit of spotting hivi. But since nimeweke coil, nikapata periods zangu zilikuwa zinaenda for close to a month. Sorry, not a month. Periods zangu zilikuwa zinaenda for close to a week. Na hata after hiyo week unapata I'm still spotting kidogo. But nikiangalia what I'm trying to prevent, I think ni vizuri ni kwetu na utu to side effects kidogo as compared to constantly being worried about my next cycle. Sinikaka mimi na hii something for like, I think nikaka nayo for like, I think 1.5 years. And then there was a time ikafika my partner akaanza kusema anasikia kitu uko chini, ana feel ni kama kuna kamba. Keep in mind, I never had this conversation with my partner. We never talked in depth about the whole procedure. Ati sijui tena kuna kamba zimeachwa zikihang zenye zitasaidia kuvuta hiyo copper IUD when it's time to remove it. So for him to tell me ana feel kuna tuguzi, that was alarming. So tuka-ignore. Tukasema, okay, well, since he knew I had the IUD na for year 1 year and 6 months hakuwa ame-complain. So we thought, wacha tuipe time tuone kama itaisha. So we gave it time. He no longer felt those strings because they're made of nylon. So uta feel, of course, there's something there. So we stayed. Tukaka. He never complained for like another 6 months. And there was this time specifically akasema hizi vitu anazisikia ni kama ziko hapa kabisa. And then I was like, yo, hata ile appointment niliambiwa nirudi ya 6 weeks sikuwa ienda. I think it's high time I just get an ultrasound done just to check on the positioning of the IUD. Na ile siku nilienda kufanyiwa hiyo scan, hadi the guy who did the scan, he was so shocked. Alikuwa like, how is this thing even protecting you? Because iko tu hapo juu ya cervix. Kamelala tu hapo juu. Kaniambia, you must be very lucky. Hii itabidi tu urudi kwa guy na afanye nini? You can muiweke irudiwe, iwekwe tena vizuri. So I called my guy na akaniambia, of course, kama mzee anaisikia huko chini, then what we need to do, go in for a check-up, hata yafanye ultrasound yake, and then we see what we can do. So fast forward, nikafika kwa guy na procedure ikafanywa. Keep in mind, this time was wise enough. So hata before nifike kwa guy na nilikuwa nisha meza hizi painkillers ndio nisipate the kind of pain that I experienced last time. So tukaenda the same process that we went through the first time, or rather that I went through the first time. Ikatolewa, nikaekwa ingine, and that was that. It was very fast because now I knew what I was expecting. So after nimeko, hata sikufeel uchungu. Hata this time sikupata hiyo uchungu nilifeel ati yenye ilifanya nikadungwa sindano ya uchungu. No, it was a very fast process, straightforward, and I was out. 2 days later, or maybe let's say even 3, nikaanza kufeel ni kama I'm itching down there, and it was a very uncomfortable feeling. You know, you see how you shave, unapatanga saa zingine una feel some sort of itchiness that you cannot really explain. Iko na kautamu fulani, but there's nothing you can do about it. Just wait it out. So that's what I thought. Mimi nikafikiria itaisha. So mimi nikangoja, but na feel hapana, this is weird because na feel at the vaginal opening. Najikuna. Nikaona, is this normal? Hadi nikitembea nilikuwa nasikia ni kama nadunga. Nikasema hapana. Let me do this. Nikifika kwa nyumba, because I remember hata ndio ikuwe so intense. Nilikuwa job. Yani nakaa chini na feel there's something wrong. I started wondering, kwani niko na kisonono? Could it be I contracted an STI? You know this, how we start overthinking, unashangaa, could I be having an STI? But I'm like, no, my partner angekuwa amecomplain. Na STI inatoa wapi? I only have one, come on. So I was very disturbed. And then this day I decided, hapana, let me get home, nioshe mikono vizuri, niingie uko ndani nisikie what could be happening. So kufika, nikasikia tuwezi tuko hapa, ndito tunanidunga. Nika call my gyna. When I talked to her, she was like, yo, that's a sign that tena imeshuka, so you need to come tuone kama tutatoa tu wiki ingine. Nikiangalia, I didn't have the time, honestly. Alinipe, I think, appointment ya, I don't know, I think a week. Like I was to see her in a week's time again. But nikiangalia, my job was so demanding. Like, akukuwa tu na room ya kumiss work at the time. So nikaangalia, what's my best option? Nikamwambia, is it possible nijaribu kujivutia hiyo kitu? Is it possible nijaribu kuvuta hiyo kitu? Because I don't think nitapata time anytime soon. Now the discomfort I'm having, hapana, I cannot wait. I cannot go another day or two. Akaniambia, if you're able to pull it out na una feel enye the strings are just hanging up kwa the vaginal opening, then by all means. So I gave it like 2 days, na for sure zikakuwa sasa zimetoka nje kabisa. We could see them. Sasa ndio nikaamua, I think 2 days later nikaamua kutoa, and let me tell you, it was so uncomfortable and there was pain because I could feel uchungu na resistance wakati nilikuwa najaribu kuvuta. So this is something that could have taken maybe, I don't know, 5 minutes in a health facility, but because I was equally being gentle with myself and just being cautious, it took me like a solid 15 minutes. It wasn't easy. Hiyo kitu ilikuwa imeshika. And so finally nikavuta na nikaiona it's complete, the kopati was out. And that is how nilitoa hiyo hiyo kopati. Honestly, after kutoa hiyo kopati, I was so relieved. Remember I told you, mimi sikuwa hata najua ovulation pain ni nini. Mimi sikuwa najua cramping ni nini until nikaeka hiyo kopati. Unaona? And this is not to say ati usijaribu coil. No, our experiences are different. Our bodies are different. But this doesn't mean you need to minimize another person's experience. This was my experience. I honestly don't regret it because I had my experience firsthand. Yeah? Because you see, kuna watu walikuwa niambia wamekuwa na hii kitu hijawahi wasumbua, the periods are regular, there's no spotting, there's no pain, they return to fertility immediately, So that is not to mean ati sasa kopati ni mbaya na watu wasitumie kopati. No. It's for you to have all the knowledge there is and then you make an informed decision. Na ikikukata, it doesn't mean that hiyo kitu ni mbaya. No, it just means your body didn't respond well to the said method. Will I recommend it? 100%. Honestly, 101%. Because you see, for close to 2 years, hiyo kitu ilinisaidia. Yeah, it did whatever it was supposed to do. It served its purpose. So I don't see why I wouldn't recommend. Honestly, if it works for you, kopati it is 101%. Go for it. So until next time, bye.